I get it, I really do. You sometimes wish your parents had been rich enough to send you to a private or public school, right? I mean, I didn't go to a private school, but I've spent a few summers in English departments in private schools in the UK, so I have a bit of an insider knowledge. Welcome to Britain. Now, this video is going to take you through 3 steps to get a public school accent. Now, the first thing to know is there's not one accent that fits all, right? So we're going to look at 6 different people who went to 6 different public schools or private schools. And by the end of the video, you should have a much better idea which accent you want to go for, which features you want to get that perfect public school accent, even if you didn't go.
Doctors that follow doctors.
You might also be thinking, what is the public school? What does it mean? So the Clarendon Report of 1864 profiled only 9 schools in England. The list is here: Merchant Taylors' School, St Paul's, Eton, Shrewsbury, Harrow, Winchester, Rugby, Westminster and Charterhouse. But these days the term public school is a bit looser, so it actually public means private. So today we're focusing on the accents. So the first step I call listen up. And I've got 2 questions for you. The first question is, are there any similarities or differences, in fact, that you can hear in the accents? And of course, which accent do you prefer?
Her Majesty the Queen has asked me to form a new government, and I have accepted. Before I talk about that new government, let me say something about the one that has just passed. Compared with a decade ago,
kind of can't get them to do anything and think it's you, and they know that, and they think, right, I will eat grass on a vertical slope of about 90 degrees until you slide off my neck into a bramble bush, which was pretty much my abiding memory of my 12-year-old self trying. But we were sort of graduated.
Good morning. I've just been to Buckingham Palace and accepted His Majesty the King's invitation to form a government in his name. It is only right to explain why I am standing here as your new Prime Minister.
There was a moment when the negotiations were not going in the wrong direction. We couldn't agree on a range of issues that we said, look, this is not going to work, so let's just do what they call in the Westminster jargon confidence to supply. That's basically you have a minority government, and then we would sort of say, well, we'll support them on this and not on that.
We lived in this flat. My dad started making money when he was doing the Ken Everett show, and we bought all the other flats in the building and turned it into a house, I suppose, like it was originally, and then sold it, even more bizarrely, to Ozzy Osbourne. And it was a beautiful big house in Hampstead by the time we sold it. And a house came up on the very same road that I lived when I was a kid, and I always wanted to go back there.
There are professions that are addictive, and for instance, being a doctor seems to be an addiction. Doctors that follow doctors. It gets into your blood. I think it's because it's the most enjoyable of professions.
Now, clearly they all have a variation of received pronunciation, but nowadays we can call received pronunciation standard Southern British English for people who speak like me in a standard accent. So each person tweaked their accent a little bit just to have slightly different features. So David Cameron and David Dimbleby both have quite a refined received pronunciation accent, but they all come under the umbrella of standard Southern British English. But 1 or 2 may have some estuary accent features. Let's have a look now at the next section, which is called Analyse This. So here are some aspects I like to look out for when looking at accents. So the first one is, do they drop sounds? I mean, both Benedict and Michael McIntyre, they drop sounds. So Benedict, I'll just play you a little clip from one of my previous videos on the sound that he drops. Let's have a listen.
He drops the occasional T and replaces it for the glottal stop, as in this word.
With that.
But what is very interesting is Michael McIntyre, he actually drops the H in this word.
Big house in Hampstead. But
I mean, some people would shudder at the thought of someone dropping their H's and having been to private school. But there you go. I would say that's kind of an estuary feature that's come into the language, and Michael just has adopted it just at that moment. But the H before that he didn't drop, so it is an occasional dropping that he does.
big house in Hampstead.
Also, Nick Clegg says issue, just like me. It's a sh sound.
Range of issues.
Now the RP way of saying this would be issue, issue. It's more like a s sound. People are divided now. I mean, those older RP speakers probably would say it with an issue, but these days most people say issue. Okay, now this section is called practice, practice, practice. So what we're going to do is just say a few lines from the audio to practice with some of the interesting words that they used. So the first one is the Michael McIntyre one where he H drops. It's quite an interesting sentence. He says, a big beautiful house in Hampstead. A big beautiful house in Hampstead. You try that. A big beautiful house in Hampstead. And now let's do some general standard Southern British English practice. A range of issues. A range of issues. Repeat after me. A range of issues. Very good. Well done. Or what about the one from Benedict? This is a good one. I will eat grass on a vertical slope of about 90 degrees. I will eat grass on a vertical slope of about 90 degrees. You got it? Did you repeat after me? Very good, very good. Well done. You're getting there, you're getting there. What about this one from Rishi? He says, I've just been to Buckingham Palace. I've just been to Buckingham Palace. I've just been to Buckingham Palace. Well, not many people can say that, eh? Repeat after me. I've just been to Buckingham Palace. Two more. So a more RP classy version from David Dimbleby. Doctors follow doctors. And one from David Cameron. Form a new government. Form a new government. Remember, when you're practicing, you must say the final T if you want that really nice RP classy sound. Form a new government. And that's it for today. I mean, basically, this was to show you the different varieties of the public school accent. And I hope you can take some of these features away and practice yourself, and you choose the accent you want. And remember, you didn't have to go to public school and you didn't have to pay those high fees because you got it free right here on YouTube. If you like the video, follow my channel, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Remember, right here you can get a better British accent. And on a side note, I was teaching English at Radley College near Oxford, where the one and only Peter Cook went, who's the famous comedian from the 1960s and 70s, and Desmond Llewellyn, yes, Q from Bond, in the classics of the Bond films. He went to that school too. So it's quite a prestigious school. So some of the ex-students are very interesting from some of these schools. My name is John, and I'll see you later. Bye now. A big beautiful house in Hampstead. Or how would a Cockney say it? A big beautiful house in Hampstead. Alright, a big beautiful house in Hampstead. Yeah, that's me Cockney today. See you later.